All right, I believe we're live. Hi, everyone. My name is Kim, and I'm with Twisted Grapevines. I'm also Gingham and Grit, and Rebay and I are merging into Twisted Grapevines. We are in our 5 days of fall, and I did a tutorial, I think Wednesday night on Facebook on how to make a rag bow, and we made this one right here behind me in the tutorial. So, anyways, what had happened was when I made this one, the starch, when I had my fabric out on the drying rack outside, we got a summer storm and it diluted all my starch on my fabric. So it was very wimpy. And so I came back and I dunked the whole, I've never done this before, but I dunked the whole bow into starch and it came back to life. So we used this one last night. Our second day 2 of 5 days of fall, and tonight we were going to make a scarecrow wreath, and we were going to do a rag bow for her as well. So I have 5 or 6 different fabrics, but like I said, because of the mess up with the starch and everything the other night, I wanted to go ahead and I had to make it anyway. So I decided let's just go live with YouTube and figure this thing out together. So what you need to do with your fabrics, first of all, 100% cotton. You don't want any stretchy fabrics. You just want straight cotton. Walmart is a great place to get great little fabrics. But different Walmarts, you have to go to the super centers, and different Walmarts have different amounts depending upon their clientele, and as far as some Walmarts have more fabric, some have less, so it's kind of, you got to know your where to go. Hobby Lobby, every other week they put their fabrics 30% off. They've got great cottons. Joann's, they have really raised the price of their cottons. So if you're shopping at Joann's, make sure you go on Doorbusters or when you have some coupons. So when I usually shop, I usually buy a full yard each of fabric. So we'll get to that in a second. So I buy a yard. I don't use the full yard. And so this right here has been starched. So see how stiff it is. I have a little drying rack that I got from IKEA that I dry my fabric on. And I just take this stuff, put it in a bowl, what kind of a rectangular bowl, and I use this. I get this at Walmart as well. It's about $2.47, $2.57 a bottle, and I use, so how many yards did I do? I did about 6 yards, and I used almost the full bottle. But it's only $2.57, so it's not very expensive. But this is in your laundry aisle with starches and all that stuff too. So on this guy right here, I let it dry overnight. And that's what the problem was, is that the rain came. And so anyways, it doesn't happen. So this is a full yard. So when you buy fabric, it comes folded in half. This is, she gave me extra because that looks longer than 36 inches. Maybe it is. It's 36 inches. Okay, so this is kind of a big piece to work with. So cotton usually comes, it's about 40, 45 inches wide. And this is half because I folded it over. And you have on this end what's called a selvage. One side is colorful. The other side, you really don't see it that much. But you can see it on the flip side. It's got little prickly edges here, especially when it's starched. And usually it looks like a million little pinholes in it. So sometimes it doesn't show up on one side. The other side, you decide if you want to keep it. Obviously, I'm not going to keep this side at all. So I'm going to cut this off really quick. And these are not my good scissors. Here's my good scissors. So I remove the selvages first. So we're going to do that part first. And you guys let me know if you can see. I think I've got the camera set up to where you can see everything just fine. We've been playing games with our different cameras and our internet and everything, trying to get the right fix for it all. And also let me know if you can hear me adequately. I do kind of have my teacher voice going, but I know the air conditioner is kind of behind where the camera is as well. So if that gets too loud, let me know and I'll speak up. So I'm folding this in half because I don't want to work, and this is kind of wrinkled on this side. It has, that's where it was, my drying rack wasn't quite as long. So I may use this side right here. So I'm going to cut this in half. Let's see here, because I don't need this full piece. And I've already pre-cut the other pieces. This is just one I'm going to demo with you. So I do have it folded in half, and I'm just going to cut it in half. You don't have to measure all this stuff out super, intense, which is saying a lot for me because I teach math, and usually I am pretty, pretty structured about my measurements. But and my business partner, Reve, she's like, just eyeball it. So this is where those selvages were. If you can kind of see, I may have to zoom that down here in just a minute. And this is where I cut it in half, and this is the other. So, and here's the fold. So I'm going to actually take it up here because I don't want to cut that far. I want to cut shorter amounts. So I'm using my grids right here. I'm going to cut 2-inch strips, 1.5-inch strips, and 1-inch strips. So you can measure them. You don't have to measure them. I'm going to move this down just a little bit so you can see a little bit more what I'm doing. Hang on. Here we go. Whoops. I hope I didn't tilt it too much. All right. Ooh, that looks good. Okay. All right. So I'm going to cut, like I said, 2 inches. Let's see here. We'll do another 2. And this right here, this is a 1/2 yard, and this is enough because I'm mixing it with so many other ones. I could probably get 2 bows out of this piece right here. And so this one, I'm doing 1.5. I did 2-inch, couple 1.5s. I think 1.5 is kind of my favorite because it'll allow you to rip them at the end. And some people like to rip theirs from the very beginning, so that's fine too. It's a lot of ripping. So here's some 1 inches. So I did 2, 2, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and now I'm doing 1s. I saved the end over here because it gets a little, by the time I get to the end, it is what's the word? It's kind of ragged. It's pretty, if it wasn't cut straight or if it moved while I was doing all this. So I used some of the bigger cuts for the end over here because I don't want my fingers getting too close in the way. So here we go. We'll hit another 1.5. And like I said, we won't use all this on this bow. And I'll just cut this in half. All right. I do want to point out one other thing really quick. So see when they unfold, it's really that long. So that's a big one. All right. And just like, when you're making bows for wreaths, you have some thicker, like your 2.5-inch ribbon and your 1.5-inch 1.5-inch ribbon or, 7/8-inch ribbon. So that's why I like all different sizes here too. So here are some of the other fabrics that I've pre-cut. We have that. We have that. We have a sunflower in the black. We've got this pretty one in the rust with gold Swiss dots. We've got this fun plaid with the black again. I'm playing with the black a lot. And then, of course, we have a harlequin. So we're going to put all of this together into one bow. And then my center, it's going to be a sunflower. I don't know if it's going to be this little one or if it's going to be, this one or this one. I just don't know how big. I'm going to have to put it up next to my little face here. So those look like they're almost the same. I don't know if I want the same, but that may be too big. So I may wait. And also, I got this from Dollar Tree. I found these. I thought these were great. I like to mix in some different elements when I do my rag bows. You don't have to. This is totally an optional thing. But these were in burlaps, and they were trims. And I don't know if you've priced trims. Trims are not free. And they get pricey really fast. So, But look at these. These are in the naturals. I thought they would just be so good for the fall. So we have like this one. So like I said, this was in the craft aisle at my what is that store? Dollar Tree. Sorry about that. And so our Dollar Tree started carrying some broadcloths, some solid colors, but still I wouldn't use those. But yeah, these are good trims. Sometimes if they're wrinkled, you know, you can steam them. You can also do, oh, I don't know, you can iron them, I guess. So if you don't like the wrinkles, but I'm telling you, those wrinkles, they probably won't show. But so I've got 3 different ones right there. And then I've also got this window pane. So I've got this one in here too. I may put that in. I may save this for the wreath though. I'm going to probably save it for the wreath. I had some, was thinking of putting some raffia in there as well. However, she's got a raffia bow right here. So I'm probably not going to use the raffia in the bow because, like I said, it's right here on top. Now, because I do have, well, we'll talk about layering here in just a second. So, all right. So I've watched a ton of different videos. I've been a seamstress for about 40 years. So I've watched a ton of different videos on how to make these bows. They're all a little bit different. M&B Creations, I'm trying to think. Nice Touch does a good one. Jackie's Wreath, she actually sells kits. They make beautiful bows. I like Jackie's idea. She does, but they all layer them. Every single person layers. And I do like on Jackie's where she kind of has the formula. Like I said, I'm a math teacher, so I kind of like the formula and how it all works. She does 8 on the bottom, and then she does 6, and then 4. So I kind of like that. That speaks to my little math brain. So anyways, I've kind of been doing it that way. So I think we're going to go from there. Let's see here. So on the bottom, let me see how many fabrics I do have. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ended up with 6. So that means that I'm going to repeat 2 of them. So the repeats are going to be a sunflower because I think the sunflower is probably my favorite with this. And I'm going to repeat. And so I'm going to put the bigger cuts on the bottom. I really like this one too. But I like this guy too. The rust. I really do like the rust. So I think I'll hit the 2 rust, and then we'll do one of those. We'll do one of the plaid. Let me get a wider one because we're doing this on the bottom first. We're doing the bottom. Oh, there it is. We're going to do the bottom bow first, and then we'll do the middle and then the top. Okay, I like this. All right. Okay, so just like normally with a bow, you're going to have a tail, but this is where it's going to be a little bit different. So on the first one, we're going to do ugly side up. We're just going to leave a small piece right there. All right, so when we tie it, it won't show. This is we're building from the bottom up. So I'm going to make 6-inch loops here on the bottom. So just like this is the Easy Bow Maker. You could get it at Michael's. You can get it on Amazon. I'm going to measure out 6 inches. I'm going to come here in the middle. And then we're going to twist. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to make this also 6. And then scrunch it down. And then we're going to let it hang down. All right. So we've got 2 and then 1. Now let's see. The other one I said I was repeating is the sunflower. So I'm going to put these on the bottom since I am repeating them. So this tail went over here. I started with my little tail here on this side. So we're going to flip it on this side. So we're going to do a little tail right there. See, ugly sides up. We're going to come same 6. We're going to do all of these at 6. Scrunch, twist. We're going to come over here. We're going to hit the 6, scrunch, and pull down. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do... I think I'm going to hit this one. I'm going to do the tartan plaid. So this one, the little piece was on this side, so I'm going to alternate. I'm going to come to this side. And then we're going to make 6 again, and we're just going to keep doing this with all our 8 pieces. So like I said, this is our bottom piece of the bow. And Reve, I told you I was going to make this one small, but I may not. All right. I think I'm going to do the Harlequin next. I'm making a Harlequin pumpkins possibly to go with this. So that's why we're hitting this Harlequin in here. And if you'll notice on the one behind me, we did a lot of Harlequin on that one. Oh my stars. Ooh, that thing is monstrous. It's so big. It's so beautiful. All right, so we got 6. Now, oh, that's what I wanted to explain to you guys. Notice this one's shorter. And here's why. I left this fabric out. Oh, I did move it. Hang on. Okay, sometimes with stripes, and this is kind of considered a stripe. I wanted to point this out to you really quick. You're going to have things that happen. So normally I cut this way. So I fold it in half, and you fold it up this way, and I cut this way. But if I cut that way, my Harlequin is sideways. So a half yard wouldn't have worked. So these are 36. I got 1 full yard. So this is 36. And I cut this way. All right, I cut it lengthwise so it would have the Harlequin look. But these are only 36 inches long, whereas all the other ones are going to be 44, 45 inches long, because that's the width of the fabric. So I just wanted to point that out to you, that that's why that is. And there's one that pouch up there. Where'd that fall? I need to find that. Okay, sorry, I digressed. Let's see here. Let's do this guy next. So this one, my little tab was over here on this side, so we need to come this side right here. We've got 2 more to go. I toyed with using a denim in here, and I also toyed with putting a green in here, but it we can bring those out in the ribbons of the wreath. I wanted this more in the rust, in the black, because like I said, I wanted to pull those pumpkins in. All right, and then this is the last one of this layer. So we got 8 pieces, like I said, on this one. Bring up here, twist, here, scrunch down, here. So you want to make sure that these, you're using straight starch. So these guys, see how they hold up a shape? They're not wired because it's straight fabric, but that starch kind of makes them a little bit like they're wired. So you want to do that. Now I'm going to just take a pipe cleaner. I'm going to pick one of these sides. I'm going to loop it around. I'm going to squish it. Did I plug in the... No, I didn't. Okay. And just like with regular bows, we're going to squeeze those away, and then we're going to twist it. You want it to be about 3 times. Okay. All right. And if you want to, you can go ahead and fan them out just a little bit. You don't have to. It kind of helps it lay a little bit flatter. They kind of go opposite sides from where they were, just like we do with regular bows. All right. Okay, so here's what we have so far. There's layer 1. All right. So that's layer 1 of the bow. All right, we're going to put that over here. Okay, now my middle layer, I'm only using 3. My top layer, I only use 1. So my top layer, because I'm going to be sitting a sunflower on it, I probably don't want the sunflower fabric, because that's going to be lost on it. So, but I do want the sunflower fabric on the middle layer. So I don't want the super wide ones. So I'm going to grab one of those for the middle layer. I don't Yeah, let's do a Harlequin too. So let's pull Harlequin. Sorry, I should have had this all ready to go for you. Let's see here. I'm thinking. It's really big. I'm thinking, let's see here. And then that on top. Okay, so that's what I think I'm going to do right there. Or do I want to do the rest? Let me look at the rest really quick. Ooh, I kind of like the contrast on that a little bit better. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Because this is going on top. I don't want this too close to the surface, but I kind of want it up there. I think I'm going to go bottom, middle, top, and then this on the third level. Okay, so these we're going to kind of do just like we did before. I'm doing a thinner one right here. I'm going to do about an inch out on here. And this one we're going to make 2 loops on each side of this one. So before we only did 1 loop. And this time we're going to come in on 5. Ooh, actually I made that 6. I made that really big. I meant to do 5, 4, 3. Wow, this one's going to be really big. I wonder if I should come in. That's kind of cool though. But is that too big? That might be too big. Crud. Darn it. Okay, I'm going to make this at 4 because I don't want it to be too big. I might have to go back and tweak that. See, you can do all sorts of things. Just kind of showing you that you don't have to. I want to show you something too here. Can you see the starch right in there? If you get a white spot, that's why you use liquid starch and not spray starch. But if you get a white spot, you can always come in and put a little bit of water on it and it'll go away. Okay, so see how I did that? I have 2 on each side. All right, and then we just have that little tail. And we'll just leave that tail. We'll cut it in later. All right, and then let's do the Harlequin. So I started this side. It kind of doesn't matter which side you should go with, really, I guess. But I like to flip them. Just because with the tails, you don't want... I like to pop them. Reve and I like to use the tails coming out. I think they're kind of cute. Now this one barely makes it. I may have to shorten these just. I forgot about that because this is a 36-inch. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull this in. This may not make it all of them. I'm gonna make this just a hair bit smaller. And you know what? I'm not gonna twist. I'm gonna come this way because the twist takes up some fabric. I'm gonna come this way. See if I can make it. Nope, it's not gonna make. We'll make it. We'll make it work. All right. I'm gonna get creative on this one. All right, so I was having to kind of layer it a little bit differently because I wanted to make the 4 loops, and because this is a shorter fabric than the other ones, we had to kind of manipulate it a little bit. You'll know all about the manipulating, I'm sure. Okay, and then let's take this one. So I went that way, and I'm gonna go this way again. And this one I don't have to worry about how big it is. I mean, I have plenty on this one. 2. How are we doing? Okay. 3. All right. So there's that one. That one's still bothering me a little bit. That's that one I had to tweak. And you know, nobody will notice it. It's just me. Okay. So let's get another pipe cleaner. I'm going to cut this one. So I just slide it under one side. I'm going to go right here, twist it. All right, and where are they're there? So I twisted it a couple times. And then, okay. To one side. Okay, so this is our middle layer. This one I'm going to tweak really quick because remember I said I made them too big. The thing's too big, so I'm sorry. I'm going to fix this really fast because I don't want to go forward. I thought, well, I could, but I don't want to. I'm going to make it right because we've got that live here in a little bit, and I don't want to mess that one up. Okay, so we need to make this 5, not 6. We normally make our bows at 6, and that's where I think I was just on autopilot, you know. Oh, we're just doing 2. Hello, forgot. All right, there we go. And it got a little crimp right there, but that's fine. It won't show because that's where the other layers are going. So I'm going to put that there. Let's see here. Boom. I'm going to hurry real quick. Sorry, guys. My bad. Fix this really fast. We're at 5. I was afraid if I left it at 6, it would overpower the little girl right there. So, I mean, my little scarecrow. So I didn't want that to happen. So we are on day 3 of our 5 days of fall. It's been kind of fun. Let's see here which one. So just pulling it in. And that crimp from the other bow is hidden underneath, so it's not showing either. So sorry about this, guys. Thank you for your patience. So like I said, I made them at 6 and I'm now taking them down to 5. Okay. I was trying to see why my phone was blowing up. All right, so here's the last of this guy. All right, let's take 2. Read the other one. I'll just use the short one. Use that to lift it out. Come right here. Just like we did before. And we can actually cut this one as well because we're going to be using one of the cloth ties at the end. All right. Okay, so back to where we were with this guy. Just kind of fan out, like I said, like we normally do our bows. All right, so I'm going to take, oh, and I can't do this just yet because I forgot I hadn't turned on the glue gun. All right. Like I said, the trying to get the cameras all fixed kind of threw me for a loop today. I had to find my old webcam and I had to have my husband come in and help me. I was like, hey, I can't find it. All right. And then we said we were going to put, Oh, we have the middle one. This was the middle one. And then we said we were going to put this guy on top. That's what it was. So for the top layer, so we got 3 layers. This one, we did 8 ties, 1 on each side. This one, we used the whole thing. We have a couple, we'll cut these off at the end. We did 2 on each side, and we did 3. So this had 8 ribbons or 8 pieces of fabric, and 8 pieces of fabric and 1 on each side. This was 3 pieces of fabric, 2 loops on each side. All right, now we are going into the top one. In the top one, we're just going to go back and forth, and we're going to do 2, but we're going to make this at 3. So this was 5, 4, 3. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3. And remember, we don't need a center, because our center, we're going to either, you can use a brooch, you can use a flower, you can, I mean, there's so many different things you could put there in the middle. So we just have 2 on each side. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of cut this a little bit, because we don't need that much of it. And then let's take the tie. Where's my thing right here? All right, so we'll do a small tie. All right, and as the glue heats up, we're just going to tie this one off too. You can use pipe cleaners, you can use wire, you can use really anything on this. So this will be our top piece. We're going to glue this guy onto here, and then this onto here, and then we're going to tie the whole thing up at the end. Okay, so we're just going to glue these here just in a second. So here's piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, and then we'll put this guy in the middle. All right, so see how it's coming together? Now on the legs, the ties, the legs. Let's we are going to do, you can do 18 to 20 strips and just range them. I like to range them in different, so if it's 18 and we have how many fabrics? I said 6. So that's 3 of each fabric. And if you can throw in a couple extras if you want to, maybe an extra sunflower or something. Vary up your lengths of them and just go for it. I'm going to just put them all in here. Actually, I may just lay them out. And I'm going to probably stagger the lengths of them. So like 1, let's get a little one. 1, skinnier. 2, so I'm going to make them a little bit different. 2, let's do that one. 3, I do count them. 4, 5, 6. And then when I hit one of those, then I'm going to add one of these other elements of these guys. So I'm going to put one of these in here. So there, and they're just a yard long. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do some different. So here we go again. So 1, 2. What did I use next? This one, and you don't have to repeat it. I just, like I said, math teacher, creature of habit. 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. 4, 5. Which one did I not use? Oh, the cloud. 6. That one, see, I didn't repeat the pattern. Rebay would be shocked at me. All right, and then I'm going to put another one of these guys in. And if you guys would ever like to receive notifications when I'm going live or whatnot, just, tap on, what is it? I always forget what you're supposed to tap on. I know on Facebook, it's a little bell. On here, I think you just hit subscribe. And you can get notifications when we do lives or when we're just doing stuff in general. One, let's see here. 2, 3, 4. Let's see here. 5. Was it the plaid again? It's always the plaid. I keep forgetting to put the plaid in there. 6, and then we'll put another one of these. And you know what? I think I'm going to put another sunflower just for good measure because it's our main. This fall. You never have too much sunflower, right? Or hardly. Okay, so I'm going to kind of gather it almost like a ponytail. Okay, and I'm going to use a twist tie. Just kind of find your center. And you know what? I'm going to take this shorter. Because we're going to cut it off again. All right. So trying to think, what color do I want to color all the way through? So let's all right, so I'm going to take, let's see if I can do this upside down. So there's my tails. All right, I'm going to take this guy right here. This was that one with the 8 on it. We're just going to put it right there. And that one had some tails too, but they're going to be a little bit varying length. Here's the one with this 3 ribbons, and so there's 6. We're just going to put this guy right there on top. And then here's our final layer. I'm just putting a drop of glue on it just to hold it in place. Okay, so I've got this stacked up here, a little tower. I'm going to find one of these rust colored ones. So I'm going to take the rust colored one, run it from the bottom. Oh, that one didn't stay. Next. Let's see here. Middle one didn't stay. I hate to use too much glue. Now, because this guy is going on a wreath, I'm going to tie it up here on the front. But because it's going on a wreath, because we want it finished on the back, I am going to, hold on. Oh, that's just like that. I'm going to put a pipe cleaner right there before I tie it. So it's going to go in there. So I can use that to tie it onto the wreath. So you don't have to do that. I just like to do that because I'm going to be tying it on the wreath. All right, so here we go. And I'm just going to tie it in a knot right here on the front. By the way, if any of you guys are big Slurpee fans, today is, I don't know if it's the Slurpee birthday or if it's 7-Eleven birthday, but there are free Slurpees to be had at 7-Eleven. Took granddaughter and just went got one. Because who doesn't love a yummy Slurpee on a hot Texas day? All right, so I may cut these off shorter, but they may be kind of fun right here. So, all right, so now I'm going to just kind of come through here, fluff my bow, as we would say. Oh, I hope everybody likes this. I think it's pretty. This one I'm going to cut here because we like to have these little pops that come up like that in our bow. We think they're kind of fun. A little whimsical. Let's see if I can do. But yeah, so you're just going to go through and you're going to fluff this like you would any other bow. I'm doing it upside down too. Ah. And then we're going to do a couple fun things with the legs of this, the tails, the legs. All right, so on the legs, oh, I almost pulled the, there we go. I almost pulled that out. Thanks. That's how we're putting it onto the wreath. Okay, so here's what we got so far. Oh, she's sweet. Okay, so on the legs, what you want to do, if you want to do this, this is up to you. You can snip it like that and then rip. And so you can get some of that little texture right there. So that's why some of these I like to be 2 inches. And you just, now that one almost ripped off, and that has happened before. So if I kept ripping, which I need to do on this one, I'm going to have to take this one off. But this has the nice ripped edge. Sometimes it wasn't cut straight, and that happens. So that one's starting to get thin too, so I had to be careful. Sometimes you want to keep them long, so I may keep that one long. This one, let's see here. This one I think I might rip. It's just personal style. I kind of like the rip. So I think the rip's kind of a cool thing. But some people don't like it quite that shabby, but hello, fall, I mean, harvest, all that stuff. I mean, that just, to me, reeks of. That was nice. That one cut clean and pretty. All right. So you can go through there, like I said, and you can cut whichever ones you want. You don't have to. You want to pull these to where most of them, facing the front. So once you put it on your wreath as well, or your door, or wherever you're hanging it, you can make them stay forward as well there. So, and then the last thing is your center. And so depending upon what you're doing with it and where you want it to go. Oh, here's another wide one. I used a lot of the wide, of the rest. So, but anyways, you can make them all go this way. You may need to cut your tails shorter because they're kind of long, but you need to figure out this shell. That one's going to have to come off. Well, no, I think it might work. We'll see. I'll have to play with it once we get it on the wreath and see. That one may be too thin. Sometimes you may want to cut some of the strings off. It just kind of depends, I usually don't care for the stringies. I like the funky rough edge. I think that is fun. I like the torn edge. But sometimes, sometimes shabby chic. So I just kind of mix them up. So there we go. So on the center, like I said, we can put either this one or we can put, ooh, I kind of like that one. I like this one because it's darker in the middle. So then we can just hot glue this guy in there. Okay. Let's see. There she is. So when we do our live later tonight, we'll be putting this, it'll be like her bow tie. Okay. So, but you can use these just, you can use them on mantles. You can use them on trees. You can use them, gosh, you can use them however you want, just all over the place. But aren't they fun? they're just fun. And you don't have to use as many different fabrics. Some people like a simpler fabric, but you just make sure you use cotton. So there we go. That's what we have for you today. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Like I said, I apologize for making the first level too big and having to go back and fix it, but I didn't want to, since we are using it tonight, I wanted to get it right. So anyways, to recap really quick, I used on the tails, the bottom layer, I used probably about, I think I used 18 pieces of fabric. I used 3 of each one. And then I added a few of these extra little trims like this guy in there, little burlap trims. You could use raffia. You could use all sorts of stuff in there. And then the next layer, I did 5-inch loops. I did 8 pieces, a loop on each side, and then a tail. The middle layer, I did 3 fabrics, 2 loops on each side, and then we have the little bitty tails coming off. And then the center one was just 4 loops at 3 inches. So 5, 4, 3. And then I just put a flower there. Did I have it down? Let's see here. I might have glued it. You know what? I glued it to the tie and not the actual bow. Way to go, Ken. So anyways, let me get that in there right. Get that in there solid. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you try this. Muslin works great. If you only want one color, you can do just one color, or, you know, pick 2 colors. The 2 colors are beautiful. You know, pick 2 complementary colors, or, you know, I don't know. It's just fun. They're just, you can't mess it up. You know, really, you really can't. There's so much cool, fun things to do with them. And like I said, behind me is the one we did. That was one I did too. But this guy right here was added. So the sides were added to make it look bigger than what it was. But the rag bow's all here in the middle. It's quite intense. But like I said, play with them. Have fun. Try it. And hopefully you can join us. We'll be on Facebook tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll be using this to make a fall wreath. So thanks for joining me. And y'all have a great evening. We also will be live on Monday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be doing a Halloween. And then we'll be live on Tuesday for day 5 at 8 p.m. as well. And all of those videos we do in Facebook, we do transfer over here into, we upload them into YouTube. So thank you again, and y'all have a great evening. Hope we'll see you soon. Bye.